Every life is a story, every moment a chapter. Here on Slow English Stories, we pause to listen.
Welcome to Slow English Stories.
Today we have a story of love, money, and learning to see who people really are.
Imagine a world where a single rich man could change a family's entire future.
This is the world of Pride and Prejudice, a story about 5 sisters with no fortune of their own.
Their only way to have a good life is to marry a wealthy man.
Let's begin our story.
Our story begins in the home of the Bennet family. The mother, Mrs. Bennet, believes a rich single man must always want a wife.
The oldest daughter, Jane, is very beautiful and kind. The second daughter is our heroine, Elizabeth Bennet.
One day, exciting news arrives. A wealthy, single young man, Mr. Charles Bingley, has rented a large house nearby.
Mrs. Bennet is overjoyed and wants her husband to visit Mr. Bingley immediately. This was a very important social rule in the Regency era. For the Bennet sisters, a rich man like Mr. Bingley was the top prize in the game of marriage. After some teasing, Mr. Bennet reveals he has already visited Mr. Bingley. The family is thrilled.
Soon, everyone attends a public ball to meet the newcomers. Mr. Bingley arrives with his sisters and a very important friend, Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy. Mr. Bingley is charming and friendly, and he dances with many girls. He especially likes Jane Bennet and dances with her twice.
Mr. Darcy makes a very different impression. He is handsome and even richer than Mr. Bingley. But he is also proud and reserved, and he refuses to dance with anyone he does not know. People quickly decide he is a disagreeable man.
Later, Elizabeth Bennet overhears Mr. Darcy talking about her. Mr. Bingley suggests Darcy should ask Elizabeth to dance. Darcy looks at her and says coldly, "She is tolerable, but not handsome enough to tempt me." Elizabeth hears this painful insult. She tries to laugh about it, but she is deeply offended and immediately dislikes him.
Soon, Jane is invited to visit the Bingley house, Netherfield. Mrs. Bennet makes Jane go on horseback because she thinks it will rain. Her plan is for Jane to get wet, become sick, and have to stay at Netherfield. The plan works and Jane catches a severe cold.
Elizabeth is very worried about her sister. She decides to walk 3 miles through the wet and muddy fields to see her. She arrives at Netherfield with a dirty dress and a tired face. Mr. Bingley's sisters are shocked by her messy appearance. But Mr. Darcy is secretly impressed by her devotion to her sister.
Elizabeth stays at Netherfield for several days to care for Jane. This puts her in close contact with Mr. Darcy. She and Darcy have many tense conversations. He finds himself attracted to her intelligent mind and spirit. He thinks that if her family was not so inferior, he would be in danger of falling in love.
When the sisters return home, they receive a letter from a cousin, Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins will inherit the Bennets' home when Mr. Bennet dies. He is a foolish, pompous clergyman. He plans to marry one of the Bennet daughters to make amends for taking their home.
The Bennet sisters also meet a handsome and charming soldier named Mr. Wickham. Elizabeth is immediately impressed by him. One day, Darcy and Wickham see each other in town. They both have a powerful reaction of dislike, which makes Elizabeth very curious.
Mr. Wickham tells Elizabeth a terrible story about Darcy. He claims that Darcy's father promised to give him a good position as a clergyman. But after his father died, the young Mr. Darcy cruelly refused to honor the promise. He left Wickham with no money and no career. Elizabeth is horrified and believes every word, which confirms her prejudice against Darcy.
The next morning, Mr. Collins proposes to Elizabeth. He does not speak of love, but of practical reasons and the advice of his patroness, Lady Catherine. He is certain she will accept because of her family's poor financial situation. Elizabeth politely refuses him. He doesn't believe her, thinking she is just being shy.
Elizabeth's mother is furious about the refusal. But her father supports her choice. He cleverly tells Elizabeth, "Your mother will never see you again if you do not marry Mr. Collins, and I will never see you again if you do." Elizabeth is grateful for his support.
Soon there is more bad news. Mr. Bingley and his entire party have suddenly left Netherfield and returned to London. The letter hints that Bingley will marry Darcy's sister. Jane is heartbroken. Elizabeth is enraged and blames Darcy for separating Jane and Bingley.
In the spring, Elizabeth travels to visit her friend Charlotte, who is now married to Mr. Collins. They live near Rosings Park, the home of Lady Catherine de Bourgh. Lady Catherine is Mr. Darcy's aunt. To Elizabeth's surprise, Mr. Darcy arrives to visit his aunt.
One day, Darcy's cousin tells Elizabeth that Darcy recently saved a friend from an imprudent marriage. Elizabeth knows he means Bingley and Jane. Her anger toward Darcy is stronger than ever. That evening, while she is alone, Darcy visits her. To her complete shock, he proposes marriage.
It is the most insulting proposal imaginable. He tells her how much he loves her, but also how her inferior family is a degradation to him. Elizabeth is furious. She refuses him and accuses him of ruining her sister's happiness and Mr. Wickham's life. She tells him, "You are the last man in the world whom I could ever be persuaded to marry."
The next morning, Darcy finds Elizabeth on her walk. He gives her a long letter and then walks away. In the letter, Darcy explains everything. He admits he separated Jane and Bingley because he thought Jane did not truly love his friend. He also saw the improper behavior of her family.
Then, Darcy tells the true story of Mr. Wickham. Wickham received money from Darcy instead of the church living. He wasted it all and then tried to get more. Worst of all, Wickham tried to elope with Darcy's 15-year-old sister, Georgiana, to steal her fortune of £30,000. Darcy was able to stop him just in time.
Elizabeth reads the letter again and again. At first, she doesn't want to believe it, but slowly, painfully, she realizes it is the truth. She understands she has been blind and foolish. She says to herself, "Till this moment, I never knew myself."
That summer, Elizabeth goes on a trip with her aunt and uncle. They visit Derbyshire, the county where Darcy's estate, Pemberley, is located. Elizabeth agrees to visit the house only because she believes the family is away. The moment she sees Pemberley, she is captivated by its natural beauty and good taste.
Inside, the housekeeper speaks of Mr. Darcy with great love and respect. She says he is a kind and generous master. As Elizabeth is walking in the gardens, Mr. Darcy himself suddenly appears. Instead of being angry, he is polite, kind, and a perfect gentleman. Humbled by her rejection, he is changed.
Just as Elizabeth's feelings for Darcy are turning into love, a terrible crisis happens. She receives letters from Jane with disastrous news. Her youngest sister, Lydia, has run away with Mr. Wickham. This is a social catastrophe that will ruin the reputation of the entire family.
In her distress, Elizabeth tells Darcy everything. She believes this family disgrace means he will never propose to her again. In this moment of loss, she realizes she truly loves him. Darcy listens seriously and then leaves. Elizabeth is sure she will never see him again.
After many anxious days, the family learns that Lydia and Wickham have been found. Wickham has agreed to marry Lydia in exchange for money. The family believes Elizabeth's uncle, Mr. Gardiner, paid him. But later, Lydia lets a secret slip. Mr. Darcy was at her wedding. Elizabeth is stunned and writes to her aunt for an explanation.
Mrs. Gardiner's reply reveals the astonishing truth. It was Mr. Darcy who found Lydia and Wickham. He secretly paid all of Wickham's large debts. He then gave Wickham more money to persuade him to marry Lydia. He did it all for Elizabeth, to save her family from disgrace, with no expectation of being thanked.
Soon after, Mr. Bingley and Mr. Darcy return to the neighborhood. Bingley wastes no time and proposes to the joyful Jane. The Bennet family is thrilled. But Elizabeth worries that Darcy, having saved her family, will not propose again.
The final drama comes from an unexpected person, Lady Catherine de Bourgh. She storms into the Bennet house to confront Elizabeth. She has heard a rumor that Elizabeth and Darcy will marry. She insults Elizabeth's family and demands she promise to never accept a proposal from Darcy. Elizabeth calmly and firmly refuses to make such a promise.
A few days later, Darcy and Elizabeth are walking alone together. Elizabeth thanks him for his incredible kindness to her family. He confesses his feelings for her are the same. He explains that his aunt's visit actually gave him hope because Elizabeth's refusal to promise made him think her feelings had changed. He proposes again, this time with humility and love.
Elizabeth, blushing, confesses that her own feelings have completely changed. She joyfully accepts his proposal. After explaining the truth to her family, they all give their blessing. The novel ends with two happy couples, Jane and Bingley, and Elizabeth and Darcy. They found happiness by overcoming their pride and prejudice.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Slow English Stories.
We hope you enjoyed it. For more practice, you can find the full transcript and other episodes on the Daily Slow English Podcast website.